Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. Today is Friday. Yay! It is the 9th. I had to think there a minute because my husband's coming home on the 11th. Anyway, I have really taken this week off. I've been hanging out with a lot of friends this week. I've been going to the city. I've been doing traveling. And yes, I also had my hair done. So yes, you guys are seeing the new color for the first time. I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I quite like it. I'm getting used to it. It's a big adjustment to me. But I decided, you know what? At age 50, why can't you do fun colors in your hair for once in your lifetime? And for anybody that has long hair like me that have been afraid to experiment, life is all about enjoyment and going out and having a good time. So I'm living proof that you can do fun colors in your hair and just have fun with it. Anyway, getting back to what we're going to do on topic today. Today we're going to do gardening tips. I'm taking the rest of the week off, at least through Monday, and not cooking because tomorrow night I'm actually going out with a huge group of friends for dinner and an evening out. And then Sunday, I'm picking up my husband when he flies back into Chicago. And we might go out for dinner, although he's in first class, so he's eating dinner on the plane. So, today's topic is gardening, and I'm going to bring you guys outside in a second. There's a few things that I found out about my garden. There's a few things that I need to share with you guys if you're new to planting, and the do's and don'ts of certain items that you may not want to put in the ground or in a garden setting. So, come with me as we go out in the garden. I'm sorry you're a little shaky. And my hair is going to look really, really light in the sun. And it is very blue. I'm trying to get you guys the best color. Or my stylist is an amazing stylist. And he wouldn't let me look at it. And this is what it came out. And I really am enjoying the fun colors. So, okay, now that I've gone totally off topic, let's get back onto topic. There are certain things that you do not want to plant in your garden. And I didn't realize this until I talked to a couple of my friends that also have gardens. One is the dill. I'm going to try to point him out. He's right there. I'm going to pull you out. And you can see the dill is between these two plants. The reason you don't want to put dill in a garden, I found out, is if the dill starts to bloom, it will overtake your garden. So if you don't want dill growing rampant, don't plant it in the ground. So I'm actually, later today, I'm going to get him a pot. I'm going to transplant him. The other thing that you guys may not know is chives. And these are my chives right here. And they bloom. They're the pretty purple thing. They also will go rampant. And they come back every single year. But they multiply. And they really multiply. So chives are a little bit easier to maintain. The other thing that you don't want to plant in the ground is peppermint. Unless you love peppermint and you want to have peppermint in your garden. Peppermint, spearmint, which I have a couple of spearmints, but I can control those. You don't want to have those in your garden either because they get really, really wild. So, today's docket is I'm going to transplant my dill. I'm just going to go out and buy a round pot for it. I'm going to treat it like any other of my other herbs. I'm going to pot it and see how it does. Other than that, flowers. Flowers you really don't need to worry about unless you're doing like wildflowers. And wildflowers are usually annual flowers where they will come back annually and they will multiply, but wildflowers are much easier to tame. Tame. Sorry, I also just woke up a little while ago, so I'm still kind of a little bit asleep. So, what happens if you do plant these plants? Well, if they're relatively new, I planted my garden about 2 weeks ago, I can still pull up my dill plant and I can just repot it. You can certainly do that. If your plant has already flowered and you're worried about it spreading, what you can do is a few things. You can keep an eye on it and make sure in the fall that you kind of thin it out and hope that it didn't take root over the summer and comes back next year. Now, if it does come back next year, there are a lot of products that you can get at your local Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's. Any Ace Hardware sometimes carries them. But you can get tools and you can get a plastic mat or a garbage type roll that you are good for gardens that you just lay over. You dig some dirt out, lay it over, put the dirt back on, and that actually will prevent anything underneath from growing to the top. You just want to make sure you don't put holes in it, because if you do, then you're allowing things to go and bloom. Now, I've had my chives for quite some time. I've had them for at least 15 years, and they do multiply every year. So what I do is in the spring when I'm ready to plant, is I weed whack them and then I just dig up the ones I don't want, and that usually takes care of that problem. So that was my gardening tip for this week. Again, we've had very little rain. I've had to water. I haven't watered as much the last couple of days just because I've been getting home too late at night to water the garden. I'm definitely going to give the garden and the flowers a good water today because they do need them. We're supposed to get a good rain on Sunday, so I may not water tomorrow. I may see how hot it gets, and depending on time, because I have to meet up with friends at around 5 o'clock for drinks and fun activities tomorrow night. So that was my gardening tip. You guys have been, like I said in a past video, phenomenal with the questions. Keep them coming. I know a lot of you stumble on my YouTube channel by accident, and you're learning new things from me, and I'm loving that. I'm going to give you some recipes for this summer that we're going to do that are going to be fantastic, especially when you guys are planting vegetables. You guys might not know what to do with your vegetables, or if you have vegetables, you may be doing them like the same way, and you're like, well, I'd like a change. Like, if my cabbage comes up, we're going to make stuffed cabbage. We're definitely going to do a lot of canning this year. We're going to can some beans. I'm going to ask my husband if he'd like giardiniera this year. I don't have all the ingredients planted for giardiniera, but I can do a version of a pickle vegetable that we could have in the winter time. And there are going to be fun recipes. Like, I have 6 eggplant plants out there. If they grow, we're going to make eggplant parmesan this fall. We're going to do pickles. We're going to do sweet pickles. We're going to do dill pickles. We're going to do cucumber salads. We're going to do fun things. We're going to do zucchini breads. We're going to do zucchini and squash in salads. We're going to do that as a stir fry. We're going to have a lot of fun this summer as long as my garden continues to grow. So, if you have any questions regarding gardening, leave them down below. I will read them. I have been reading all of my comments, and I'm going to try to address each one as they come in. As for cooking videos, this week has been kind of a willy-nilly for both of us. I've eaten a lot healthier this week. I've had a lot of fish. Last night I went out for sushi with friends, so I've been eating a lot more fish. My husband is at a wedding in Florida, and he's been living it up in Florida. So when he gets back, he's going to go back on a very strict low potassium diet so that his kidneys get a break, and things will return to normal. So probably next week the menu is going to be more chicken, more pork oriented. We may sneak in a lamb chop video. I would like to make Squishkova eventually, and that's probably going to be a little bit later in the summer. And for those of you that don't know what Squishkova is, it is a pickled beef in a gravy, and it's in a sour cream based gravy, and it is very, very good. It's served with dumplings, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make the yeast dumplings. I've had a couple of people in person say, when are you going to make the yeast dumplings? Those will be coming sooner rather than later, because I need to make yeast dumplings if I'm going to make Squishkova. Squishkova is also something that is not a short cook. It takes 2 days to prepare the Squishkova before you can even bake it. And it is not for everybody because it does have vinegar in the recipe, and it does taste like pickle beef. And it's an acquired taste, but it's really good. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys step by step on how to do that this summer. I am going to do the Swedish meatballs. I keep saying I'm kicking the can down the road. I'm going to do the Swedish meatballs. I don't have all of the ingredients for the Swedish meatballs, but we're going to try to do the Swedish meatballs. I may do that next week. That is on my to-do list for next week. So, thank you for tuning in today. Tune in tomorrow for another Cooking with Joel video or a gardening video. I am going to probably, starting next Monday, go through the videos that have been pre-recorded and start editing them and getting them ready to upload. I know there are at least 4 that you guys have not seen, one being the lasagna and the tiramisu. So that's 2 videos. There is the beef vegetable soup that I did in January that I have not posted. And then there's one other video that I, off the top of my head, don't remember what it is. But I do have some of my videos banked. And now that we're starting to get well into June, we're going to start doing pies. And that will probably be more in July than in June, because I have to wait for the season to grow. But we're definitely going to be doing peach pies this summer. We will be doing apple pie or apple slices in the fall. Summer is more peach because that's what Bob and I like. Strawberry I could do. I don't have the ingredients for strawberry because I don't have a strawberry plant, and strawberries are harder to get. So anyway, those are things coming up. We'll discuss those later. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, for watching my videos. Make sure to hit the like button. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. If you have ideas, leave me a comment and chances are I will pick it up. So, have a great weekend. Be safe. And I will be posting probably on Monday will be the next video after this one that you guys will see. So thank you again. Tune in on Monday for another Cooking with Joel video.